Welcome to the Dray Way. I am so glad you are here. We are 25 days away. 25 days away from the election. I know. That means we started at 50. Now we're all the way down to 25. 25 days away from the election. And I'll tell you, there is, oh my gosh, we have so much to talk about. We have so much to talk about. But before I even get started, did you see Donald Trump in Detroit? I just got to ask you, did you see him in Detroit? Because I've never seen that before. I've in all my years of watching politics and watching politicians, I have never seen a politician. If you haven't seen it yet, you gotta. I wish I could put it on here. I don't know how to do that, but you can go search the video out. It's not hard. It's Donald Trump in Detroit. He's in Detroit. Detroit, who doesn't like him at all. Detroit can't stand the man, okay? But now, get this. He's in Detroit, and he's talking about, Kamala Harris and how she's destroyed San Francisco, and she's going to destroy the rest of the country like Detroit. He was basically trash talking Detroit while in Detroit. You can't make this up. You got to watch it. I mean, I bet you I replayed it like 3 or 4 times. I'm like, did he just say that? What did he say again? And you sit there and replay it and goes, wow, he literally just trash talked Detroit while being in Detroit, hopefully campaigning. So you're campaigning in Detroit and you're talking it like it's trash. But that's not even the big news. This is the big news. Did you watch Obama literally dismantle the man? I mean, Obama went off on Trump. He basically said, what is this man talking about? This man is trying to say that things were good under Donald Trump. He goes, I handed them the keys to a perfectly bright, shiny economy. Everything was going beautiful. All he had to do was not mess it up. And what did he do in his 4th year? He completely messed it up and crashed the economy, the stock market, millions of people without jobs. Yes. But, Obama made it perfectly clear. Hey, wait a minute. I handed him this wonderful economy. I handed him all these things that he's now bragging about. Because when Obama walked into office, he walked in the office off of George Bush. And the White House and the economy were on fire. And I mean fire. If you remember what 2008 and 9 were, the beginning of 9 were like. It was a complete and utter disaster when Obama got the keys. So that is really... Anyway, welcome to the Dray Way. Welcome to my show. I'm so glad you guys are here. And guess what? I'm here every single day. A new show drops every single day. If you haven't seen the prior shows, there's a whole laundry list of them. You can go check them out. And don't forget the Dray Way every single day right here on YouTube. So thanks for joining me. And let me know what you think. Did you, in the comments, first, did you see Detroit? And if you didn't, did you see what Obama did? Let me know in the comments and let me know what you think, because I was just sitting there as I'm watching Obama, and Obama has such a neat way of communicating and stuff. But I have to say, as good as Obama is, and Obama is really, really good. Don't get me wrong. He is exceptional. But I would pay money to go see his wife. Michelle Obama she's on a different level. As a public speaker, I pride myself on being a pretty good public speaker, but when you watch Michelle Obama do it, it's an entirely different thing. It's just, she knows how to bring the audience with her. And not that Obama didn't yesterday. Again, Obama did a very, very good job. I thought he made some really, really good points. And I liked the way that he broke things down for the audience so that he could be like, wait a minute, Donald Trump has been a disaster. Donald Trump has been a liar, and he's not your future. And that's what I liked about the speech. You know, I like that, but I can't. Every time I see Obama now, I'm like, where's Michelle? You know, because I feel that there's something to learn every time she speaks. But again, let me know what you think. We got a lot more to talk about. Hang around. Welcome to the show. Please comment. And if you are not a subscriber yet, why aren't you a subscriber? Why not? What do I got to do? I can't dance. Not yet. My leg is still hurt. But is that what it's going to take? Hopefully not. Please subscribe and stay with me. We got more to talk about. The polls, the polls, the polls. Everybody, oh my gosh, it is absolutely unbelievable. Everybody all of a sudden wants to talk about polls, and I'm not exactly sure why. And if you guys know why you want to talk about polls, again, put it in the comments. Why does everybody want to talk about polls when we're voting now? You do understand we're voting right now today in like 36 states. We're voting right now. And we have results from those votes. We can see how many Democrats, Republicans, we can see who has voted. Especially in Pennsylvania, Democrats are showing up and showing out. It looks fantastic for Democrats in Pennsylvania. But still, I get comment after comment after comment. What about the polls? What about the polls? What about the polls? What about the polls? This is what you need to understand about the polls. The polls right now are going to do one thing and one thing only. They're going to tell you how close it is. Because if they don't, if they give it too much to one side or the other, then your interest goes away. You're no longer interested. If they were to come out and tell you the truth, yeah, Harris is ahead by 5 points. She's going to win the election. Would you watch anymore? Would you be at the edge of your seat anymore? I mean, you've just been told how it's going to end. You know, that would be like going to a movie and, oh yeah, by the way, the main character dies. You'd be like, what am I watching the movie for? He dies at the end. I don't want to know that he dies at the end. But that's exactly what's going on with the polls. And you need to understand that. And I don't care what poll it is, you know, it doesn't really matter at this point. And I tell people now, I don't care about the polls. We have votes to look at. We can look at, because votes are what's counted. It doesn't matter what the polls say right now. None of that is counted. None of that picks the president of the United States. Do you know what does? The votes, and they're over here. they're over here. But just understand, whether it's the mainstream media, whether it's the polls, they have an interest in telling you just how close it is. It is so close. And that keeps you coming back. But this is the thing I want you to remember, okay? Donald Trump literally has next to no path whatsoever. In fact, somebody would have to show me what the path could possibly be if he loses Pennsylvania. And he's going to lose Pennsylvania. And there is nothing he can do about it. And he's going to lose Pennsylvania because she has spent $100 million. $100 million in Pennsylvania. And she has over 40,000 volunteers in Pennsylvania. So when you put in all that time, all that effort, all that money, you better believe that you're going to come out with the victory, because Donald Trump hasn't been able to spend anywhere near that money. And he doesn't have, I think he's got like 1,500 volunteers in the state. 1,500 versus over 40,000. And he has spent like 35 million versus 100 million in the state. The math just doesn't math. So the thing I want you most focused on during the election, though, this is the first thing you should be looking at on election night. All right. And I want you to remember this. Look at Virginia. because Virginia is going to tell you, give you a monitor as to how things are going. Because Biden won Virginia last time by 10 points. I believe it was 54-44. And that's what I want you to watch, because we should get information. We should get numbers on Virginia relatively soon in the night. I don't expect it to take late in the night to give us Virginia numbers. And if she is up by more than 10 points in Virginia, that's going to tell you really all you need to know. But, soon after that, we should also be getting information from North Carolina. And according to my numbers, according to what I see Harris winning North Carolina. So before you ever get to Pennsylvania, because Pennsylvania, they're going to count the votes slowly. They're on purpose going to make vote counting go to the next day. And just remember, all of those mail-in ballots, we're going to be way, way ahead on mail-in ballots. We're going to be hundreds and hundreds of thousands of votes ahead. But when at the last part of the night, before they say goodnight, Pennsylvania will have none of those votes counted. They're only going to count the votes of people going to vote. And you're going to be freaking out going, wait a minute, we're going to bed and she's losing Pennsylvania by 150,000 votes? Yeah, that's very likely going to happen. That she's going to be losing Pennsylvania by 150,000 votes when we go to bed. But this is what you need to know. All of those mail-in ballots, which she is going to win by hundreds of thousands of votes, all of those are on purpose going to be counted the next day, because that fits the Republican narrative. Now Republicans go, wait a minute, time out. We were winning by 150,000 votes. Now all of a sudden, Harris is ahead. How is this possible? How did this happen? You know exactly how it happened. You on purpose did it this way. They're trying to do the exact same thing in Georgia. They don't want you calling victory during the course of the night. They want the darkness of night to be mysterious and ooh, things changed overnight. Well, of course they did. You have us voting. You have us counting votes that way on purpose, because Republicans now know they can't win elections anymore. Especially, do you honestly think Republicans are going to win the White House with their view on abortion? Do you think that's possible? Do you think women are going to vote for Republicans in huge numbers, knowing that Republicans want to take away their rights? Yeah, I can tell you right now, as long as abortion sits where it is, Republicans will never win the White House again. So just understand that. But with the whole voting thing is on purpose going to be the next day for Georgia and Pennsylvania. But like I said, those mail-in votes are going to be heavily, heavily blue. So don't get concerned. Don't worry. and don't let the polls upset you anymore. Like I said, we don't have to look at polls anymore because we have votes to look at. We can look at the votes and who's showing up to vote, and that's what should matter. Don't drive yourself crazy with these polls. These polls are doing exactly what the news is doing. Oh, it's so close. Oh, it could go either way. Yeah, don't listen to that. But again, let me know what you guys think in the comments. We're not done yet. I have one more thing to talk about. The last thing I wanted to talk about is I wanted to, again, give you some good news, because the more I watch YouTube, the more I watch different people on YouTube and other shows and stuff like that, I'm like, what are they talking about? Because everybody seems to have this doom and gloom for some reason and want to put out this bad, this is bad, this is terrible, this is awful. The United States is killing it, folks. I keep trying to tell you, but I'll give you another perfect example. Wholesale prices were flat in the month of September. That means inflation is in hand. And that is really, really good news, because that means we can expect lower interest rates very soon. So I just want you to know the stock market's doing well. Oil and gas production is at an all-time high. The US dollar is as strong as ever. I mean, the United States is number one, and we're doing extremely well. And I want to pass that information on to you because it just seems like in the news today, everybody's picking out, this is wrong and that is wrong and this is terrible and that is terrible. When in fact, consumer spending is up. Inflation has gotten under control. So there is good news out there. Now, does that mean everything's perfect? No, that's not what I'm saying. What I am saying though is there's a lot of good news out there. And the United States, especially compared to other countries around the world, we're doing extremely well. But again, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thanks for joining me. We're just 25 days out from the election. I'm glad you're here at the Dray Way. We're going to be counting it down every day. This is 25. Tomorrow will show 24, 23. I hope you stick around with me and go all the way to 0. And don't worry. We'll have lots more to talk about after the election. The Dray Way is not going anywhere. Let me know in the comments what you think. Thanks for joining me today. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy the weekend. No, really, enjoy the weekend. We'll see you later.